So today we're talking about bar stools. I'm going to give you 10 tips to shop for better bar stools. Check it out. It works every time. I love that. Today, I'm going to share with you the 10 questions that I ask myself whenever I'm shopping for bar stools. My goal here is to give you a totally tight, bulleted list that you can arm yourself with every time you go shopping so you can have the confidence to nail that purchase. So yeah, it's going to be super concise, super brief. We're going to run through it. Here we go with number one. Number one, make sure it's made of quality ingredients. What I mean by this is that the wood, the metal, the plastic, if you have to go that route, that you're using on the bar stool actually has integrity to it and it's not gonna fall apart. I'm looking for solid materials here. Secondarily, make sure the finishes that are on that material, whether it's paint, whether it's stain, I don't care. Make sure it's gonna withstand the test of time. We're looking for something bulletproof here. Okay, on to number two. Rule number two, is it comfortable? It's super important. Every bar stool has a seat, right? Make sure it's either contoured or that it has upholstery in it so that you really can feel great when you're sitting in that bar stool. Secondarily, sometimes you get a backrest and you get armrests. Those also need to either be contoured or they need to have upholstery on them so they really let the body sit there and grip that. Now, what defining comfort is different for a 5-year-old child versus a 300-pound man. So, rule number two, know your audience and make them comfortable. Now, on to three. Number three, availability. Check the availability of the item. See if it's available immediately, if it's going to ship in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks or more. That's super important. You need to know your timeline and when the item's going to be available. By asking that question, you're automatically going to eliminate a lot of contenders from consideration because they're just not going to make the timeline that you have. And that way, it'll focus the group that you can, consider and make the decision a lot easier in the long term. So number three, know your availability. Let's go on to number four. Number four is stretchers. Now let me show you what they are. So a stretcher is this horizontal piece that can be metal, it can be wood, it can be anything structural that connects the four legs. Now, sometimes it's going to connect 3 legs. Sometimes it's going to connect 2 legs. Sometimes it's just going to connect the front 2 legs and provide a footrest. I don't care. It needs a stretcher, either a footrest, 3 legs, 4 legs, any combination. You need some type of horizontal material that's providing structure and support to the bottom of the bar stool. This ensures in the future that the legs won't start rotating inwards, getting wobbly, doing all sorts of nonsense. You need stretchers. Now on to number 5. Number 5, you need silicone protectors on the feet of the bar stool. Let me show you. It goes like this. At the bottom of the legs, there should be some type of hard plastic piece there that protects the floor. It should be made out of silicone. It can be made out of a million different things, but silicone happens to be my favorite. You need this protection between the leg and between the floor so that you don't mess crap up. Additionally, that silicone foot's going to allow it to smoothly rock back and forth into position. No tugging, no pulling, no dragging, and no marking up the floor. So number 5 is feet protection. Now, on to number 6. Number 6, weight. Not always my favorite subject to discuss, but yeah, weight. So, weight is something that's really important with bar stools. You need to know that it's heavy enough to feel like a significant piece of furniture, but it needs to be light enough for everybody to be able to move it in and out easily and without any problems, right? In my experience, this generally is between 7.5 and 10 pounds. If you work between those numbers, that'll really net you a great result. If you go over 10 pounds, and you totally can, by the way, but if you do, it just limits the accessibility to somebody that, doesn't have a lot of guns. And if you go under 7.5 pounds, you can, but it just starts lacking any type of significance in terms of furniture. It starts feeling very, very, very flimsy. So I caution people to go under 7.5 pounds. That's not good. But anyway, rules are meant to be broken. Do with it what you may. My rule for number 6 is know the weight. All right, on to number 7. Number 7, the environmental impact of the purchase. Now, it's a growing conversation that we all are familiar with, but a lot of us just don't feel compelled or know how to participate in reducing the amount of toxins that we bring into our home and eliminate or greatly reduce the amount of negative impact that we have on the overall environment of the world. Like the world, you guys. We need to start being more thoughtful about the products we bring into our home. There are 5 questions that I ask myself when I'm considering a piece of furniture, and they are: number 1, where is it manufactured? Number 2, how was it distributed? Number 3, how do I intend on using it? Number 4, how do I intend on disposing and or recycling the item? And number 5, what is the product made out of? So I think we've touched on this enough. You understand that number 7 is the environmental impact of the piece of furniture. Now we're gonna go on to number 8, all right? See you there. Number 8. Number 8 is shop the Barstool from the back. Whenever you look online on a photo, or even when you're in the store and you look at the displayed chairs, they're always showing it from the front, which is the least important view of the entire piece of furniture. That's the piece that's going to be tucked under the counter. No one's ever going to see it from that side. Instead, be sure to flip it around and make sure the design is beautiful on the back and that the construction details are all there. When furniture companies are looking to save money, where they do it is on the back of the bar stool, and then you get 4 of them lined up at your counter, and it looks ridiculous in your home. I'll show you what I mean. Here's a bar stool that I love the design on, but when you turn it around, all you see is screws. What is that? So, number 8, be sure to look at the back of the bar stools. On to number 9. And number 9. I mean, it wouldn't be a YouTube video without skateboarding, right? So yeah, I got out of the studio. We're gonna hit on these next 2 subjects, and I thought I'd show you around Palm Springs a little bit. And right now, number 9 is value. Be sure you get a good value. It's important with anything you buy in life, but especially with your purchases at home. I mean, you're gonna be living with them for a long time, and you don't wanna overinvest and not get the return on investment. That always sucks. And you don't want to just take something free that you don't care about, that doesn't add anything to your life. Like, that sucks too. So we're looking for that balance between investment and return. So number 9, value. All right, on to 10. Here we go, you guys. Number 10. I'm sitting outside the Palm Springs Art Museum now. And I don't know if you guys know it, but it's kind of iconic. So I thought this would be a good place to wrap up the first episode. And now that we're on to number 10, it's actually perhaps the easiest of all of them. It's also the only one that deals with emotion. The rest are more like a punch list, like a bullet list that you can kind of say yes or no to. But the 10th one, and again, the most important one, is do you like it? And it's just an emotional response. It has nothing to do with anything rational. And it's just about creating something that you like, you know? Investing in things that in some way enrich you or fulfill you or make you feel like you're more yourself or challenge you. Whatever it is, you don't even have to explain it. You don't have to rationalize it, but just answer the question, do you like it? And that's it. That's the top 10 questions I ask myself when I'm looking for bar stools, and I think it's a great list to start with anyway, especially to help people that are new into interior design or nervous about taking those first steps.
Doing anything new, whether it's skateboarding or whether it's creating your own interior, always has an amount of risk to it. There's always this fear of I'm going to screw up, or I'm going to look stupid, or it's going to be a waste of time. I don't have an aptitude for that. That's for somebody else. Recently, more and more, I have argument with that. I think almost everything is open to everyone, and I sure would like to see a lot more people creating interiors with confidence, and instead of telling themselves that, they're just not good at it, that they give it a shot. You'll notice I'm not telling you which Barstool to buy. I am giving you the questions that a designer like myself would ask so that it can empower you when you go shopping to make decisions that you can feel more confident with. All right, so that's the episode for today. I really appreciate you guys checking it out and tuning in. Look forward to new episodes. I'm trying to get them out as fast as I can. Take care and go make some good decisions, all right?